And we do have some updates about that we're really excited about. We'll probably say all that good stuff in a little bit to make sure YouTube catches up with us and all that, because it's not even showing for me that we're live. Is it for you yet?
No, not yet.
It like takes a little bit of time for all this to
Mine just started
to do its thing. So the only people hearing what I'm jabbering about right now is probably people watching the replay. But yeah, thanks so much for getting on with us. We really appreciate it. I see Sean's in the chat from The Guy Who Sews. He has a really fun channel. He's doing Vlogtober right now. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. But they are fun, short videos just showing what he's doing and stuff. And you should go check those out if you're not already subscribed to his channel.
and he has a really cool accent.
Hi, Janine. Jean. There's a lot of J's right now. Jonna. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Liz.
Irish Sail Lady. Hi, Liz. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm really bad with keeping up with the chat. I saw Linda on earlier, so hi to you. I know you have to run to work later. But I was hoping, so the last 2 Wednesdays I've been working on my project from the Open Gate Quilt September box. I was hoping to finish it this week so I could work on another project today. But I didn't get a chance to. So it is a table runner that is tumblers that I've been working on the last couple lives. Still going to work on that, bring it together. I have my sashing pieces ready for it in the border. Hopefully I can get this one done because like all of us who quilt, we all have projects we just piled up that we want to be able to get to and work on. If you haven't got a chance, we did put our talking topics in the description of this video. So we have 3. So if you want to think about them as we give you some updates and things, our topics are, the first one is what your signature dish is, and then your favorite song. And also we're going to talk about if you had a time machine and could go back to any year in history, what year would it be? So just to give you time to think about those, don't answer them all right now because we won't be able to keep up with them. But just in case you didn't get a chance to look at the description, that is some stuff we are going to talk about in the live today just to keep things, moving. So it looks like we have a bunch of people in already. So do you want to give the update on what you figured out with the trim locks, which is a lot of fun? I think you all will be so excited about it.
Sure. So I still don't have plastic for the 6.5
That's not
inch.
That's not the fun part I was talking about.
But it should be here. I'm expecting it Friday. It may be Monday, depending on how shipping is, because it's coming from the West Coast. But I finally figured out a way to program our website to allow everyone to basically build your own trim lock bundle. So if you go on our website for the trim locks, you'll see a build your own bundle option, which will allow you to, you can buy just one in any size. So 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 6.5. Or you can buy any combination of those. So if you wanted a 2.5, a 4-inch, and a 6.5, although we're out of the 6.5 right now, you can do that. So it gives you the option to pick and choose what you want or to fill in whatever spaces you don't already have. And the pricing is tiered. So if you buy 2, it's cheaper than if you buy 1. If you buy 3, it's cheaper if you buy 2. It's cheaper than if you buy 2, etc., etc. So it's available on the website now. Under the trim lock link, and you can pick and choose what you want so that you can order 1, you can order 7, you can order 4, whatever you want. You get to pick and choose. I'm going to be working on additional sizes, but right now we just have 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 6.5. There will be a 5.5. There will be a 6, and then. Yeah, so that's an update. It's on the website. So if you are someone who just wants a 4-inch or someone who just wants a 3-inch, you can do that now because I was able to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. We were testing it last night. We had somebody who ordered on it already because they were looking for something. So it's something we're really happy about because I know a lot of people just want very specific sizes or, you know, whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's been a long day. But y'all all know what I mean. You're used to me at this point.
So, another fun thing is, and this sort of goes into one of our topics. Any new thoughts on how to store to display them? Liz, are you talking about the trim locks or are you talking about the slide locks? Because I'm not sure. Hi, Lori. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you can stay a bit. If not, we appreciate you stopping by.
You're welcome, Linda. We definitely, even if we don't get to it right away, we definitely try to listen to what you guys all suggest and everything like that. It just may take us time to get to it.
So, as far as storing the slide locks, there are a couple things that can be done to store them. So, if for some reason you don't have enough space to just leave it on your cutting table or something of that nature, I've messed around with it, and I know a couple people who have bought them have as well. It seems to me to be relatively safe to use a hook or some other device to hang it through one of the holes in the base. So let me grab one real quick. Hold. So if you have, and this applies equally to the 24-inch and the 14-inch. I just grabbed the 14-inch because it was closest. If you wanted to, you could put a, like a wall hook or something through here and hang it on the wall. I don't know if you guys, oh yeah, you can kind of see. Nope, this way. So it could hang like this. The only thing you have to be careful of is obviously through each of these holes is a rubber bumper. They're not rubber, they're polyurethane. So you just want to make sure that you don't, these are on there pretty tight. These shouldn't come off, but I guess if you put enough pressure on it laterally, it could pop off. So you could hang it that way. I've seen a couple people that'll put like a little, a cloth loop here, and they use that as the hang. Obviously, you need to be able to untie that if you're going to use it, because you don't want to impact pressing down on it. But you could hang it that way. Whatever you do, don't hang it from the spacer or any of the metal parts you see in here, because those are structural components to this, and if they get misaligned, it could cause problems. So that's about the only way I can think that you can hang these in a realistic way if you wanted to hang them on the wall. You could, I guess, in a sense, if you had they make plastic and sometimes metal shelves that you can put on the wall that are for papers that have, 30-degree angles or whatever. You could probably hang this in one of those, but I don't know that you're going to want to spend all that money just to hang your slide lock. So you can hang it through one of these holes. I would do one of the ones on the end. That I've done some stress testing. It shouldn't cause any issues. So that's one solution that you can do for. So Shannon does have hers hanging behind her on her videos, and as far as I know, she's not reported any issues. So that's one way to do it. Just whatever you do, don't put anything sticky on the bottom of this slide lock base, like, some sort of sticky that you can hang on the wall, because it's going to impact your ability to use and As far as the trim locks are a bit easier in the sense that those handles, that they're not very heavy, so there's not a lot of weight there. You should be able to, again, if you just put like a little, eye hook in your wall or wherever you want, you can just loop like a rubber band or a hair tie. You could loop that around the handle of the trim lock and then just hang it on the wall. Should be totally fine to do that. So those are ways that you can probably hang those on the wall if you need to. And that should be it. If your handle wiggles, how do you tighten it? Jane, I guess I don't know.
Is that on the slide lock? If it's on the slide lock, it is designed to have a little bit of a wiggle to it because you don't want the spacer to get jammed in it. It needs to be able to move up and down freely so you can press the
Yeah, so it's hard to explain how these are built, but on the in the hole here, there's a metal, it's an aircraft aluminum grade spacer that rides along inside of the handle. And if there's not movement and the ability for this to wiggle, it will end up jamming. And we've had it happen because we built a whole bunch of these before we sold them to make sure that we didn't have these issues. So there is some built-in lateral movement in these to ensure that they don't get gummed up or jammed by the spacers rubbing up against the wood. So there's not much you can really do to prevent that because it's a design feature of the handle. Now, if it's falling off, then that's a problem, and it may mean that one of the screws that holds it in here has snapped in some sense. But if it's just a little bit of lateral movement, that is a built-in design feature.
And you may notice that changes depending on your weather and the humidity and stuff in your home, because the wood you've probably noticed isn't like, it doesn't have a coating around it, so it's natural and everything, and it may expand just like if you have floors in your house and you notice sometimes the cracks are wider or they get tighter. All that's just like the natural component to the wood.
Right, which is another reason that we built in some additional lateral movement, because here in Texas it's not really an issue because it's always the same here. And that the weather doesn't really fluctuate like that. But when we lived in Michigan, our floors in the summer would look beautiful, and in the winter they would contract, and our floors would look like they had 1/4-inch gaps. Wood floors, at least, would look like they have 1/4-inch gaps everywhere because the wood would shrink with the less moisture in the air. So the same thing is true with the slide lock. It's a natural wood product. The wood may, in warmer temperatures, swell slightly. Not that it's going to affect the use, but we're talking, these things are built to thousandths of an inch of degree of accuracy. If I am off 3/1000ths of an inch, it won't fit. So that's why there's some lateral stability built there, or instability built there, so that you can do that. Fallon, what are you working on, dear?
I am working on the tumbler table runner that was from the September box from Open Gate Quilts. Oh, thank you, Sean.
Oh, I just thought Sean answered that. So where was I? I was going to say something. So one of our topics tonight is, what is your signature dish? And what we meant by that is, what is the one dish if royalty or someone that you truly care about came to your house and said, I need you to make me dinner. If anyone told me they needed me to make them dinner and demanded it, then they'd end up getting something that was not edible. But if you were going to make dinner to impress someone, what would it be? What is the thing you're most comfortable with? And one thing that we try to do is we try to eat at home as much as possible, because for what it's worth, when we lived in Michigan, we didn't have any weird digestive problems, and I'm not trying to get too medical here, but since we moved to Texas, I don't know if it's something in the water here or how they grow cows. Although, look, we have cows roaming around
Raise
here.
cows.
They grow them. We have cows roaming around here, and they are the saddest looking creatures in the world because it's 112 degrees and they have no grass to eat. So, long story short, we have not had a lot of great success finding fresh food here in Texas, so we try to make as much as we can. So to that end, we love new recipes from people that we can find that we can make ourselves. So along with the signature dish, and I don't know how to do it, I was thinking about putting my signature dish recipe somewhere in the comments so that if anyone wanted to try
put it in the, we can put it in the description of the video. Like, not right now because I don't have my computer to put it in, but...
That's hilarious, Sean. If the Queen of England was to visit, he'd make her baby back ribs, baked beans, and Texas toast. Obviously, there is no... I don't know. I don't think there's a Queen of England right now, but it's hard for me to imagine the Queen of England eating anything that would require her to get messy, which is why I think it's awesome that you serve her baby back ribs. But she seems more like a soup and salad type of lady, so that she doesn't have to get barbecue sauce all over her hands and face.
Well, that's maybe why he wants to make it for her, so she can try something new. Get out of your comfort zone.
So, Ray, what kind of pasta sauce from scratch? Because my signature dish is a pasta sauce, but there's so many different ones. You can do, a cream-based sauce. You can do an acid-based sauce. You can do like a pesto. So what kind of sauce would you choose, Ray? And what kind of pasta would you pair it with?
I love lasagna.
Okay, Janine, what is a sausage bread? I have never heard of this, and I like both bread and sausage, so I could be intrigued by this. What is a sausage bread? Do you know? Is this like a South thing that I don't know about?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess you just like cook sausage into, like how you can add cheese into, like kind of like those biscuits from those cheddar biscuits,
the Cheddar Bay biscuits,
whatever they're called, something like that. I don't know. Sounds good.
I like tres leches cakes, Lindsay, but bread pudding is probably one of my favorite desserts.
Mine too, as long as it doesn't have chocolate in it.
Yeah, it's so disappointing that she doesn't like chocolate because there's so many good desserts that have chocolate that we can't share because she doesn't eat chocolate.
I think I really, really like to bake, so I like to make fresh bread. So it's not really a dish, but I make some really good pita bread.
You do?
And I actually made some today. I tried to put a picture in here, so let me see if I can. It's not a very good picture. Maybe it works. I don't know. But so that's the pita bread I made today. If it shows up for y'all, hopefully it does. Let's see if I can get back.
Yeah, my favorite bread that you make is your focaccia. You make the best focaccia.
I don't think it's letting me go back. What did I do?
You broke it. Oh, hey, the pita bread showed up.
The pita,
so that's good.
It's going to be on there forever.
Let's see. Joan says fried chicken, mashed potatoes with a white gravy, which is a good call, Joan. I love white gravy. And green beans. Chocolate cake with chocolate icing. And I love chocolate, everything. So.
There. I think we're back now. Sorry about that. I'll never do that again, I promise.
It's still showing pita bread for me.
I really wanted everyone to see it. Everyone's probably like, what are you doing? I'll never do that again, I promise. I promise. I also make a really good, did I say, because I got stressed out about that whole situation, that I make a really good focaccia bread too?
I said that you do, because it's
okay.
like my favorite bread that you make.
Sorry that I'm repeating that. Just really stressed me out that I don't like technology.
All
Are we back, or is the pita bread?
No, we're back.
Okay.
We're back. Jean initially said that your pita bread looks goofy, and then she corrected it to say good. Hopefully, it was an autocorrect issue. If not, Jean, that's hilarious.
I'm not offended either way. It wasn't a great picture. I'm not one of those people who takes like amazing foodie pictures.
So, Ray or Riri, she does an Italian red sauce. So, Ray or Riri, you can let me know which one it is because I'm not sure. So my sauce is I think I told this story last time, but the girl that I dated all throughout high school was Italian.
See how he keeps bringing up some
good.
other woman during every live.
She was Italian, and she was a first generation American. Her parents were from Italy. And so her grandmother was your traditional Italian grandmother who didn't speak English, but could cook the lights out of pretty much everyone. And she taught me how to make a very basic red sauce, which I call it basic, but it's like the tastiest thing in the world. So that's my go-to dish. And basically, it's just you take some tomatoes, and she didn't even peel them, which I love because it's so much easier. But she would take like little plum or cherry tomatoes, cut those in half, throw them in a dish with some chopped onions and some olive oil, let them saute for a bit, throw in some garlic, and essentially just let all that simmer, and then you would just toss your pasta in it and top it with basil. And it is so good. It sounds bland, I guess, in a sense, but it's so good. The key is what you would do is you'd cut the tomatoes, put them in a bowl, and then salt the tomatoes and let them sit for 10 minutes, and then pour all of that with the juice into the pot with the olive oil and the onions and let it saute, and it is so good. It is amazing. And I like meaty pasta, so I like serving it over like a linguine, because you get that thicker noodle. And it is delicious, but you can, it's good with angel hair if you need to.
Christina, I haven't made that lasagna with the eggplant in a while. It's probably been since Florida, hasn't it? Since we lived in Florida? Do you remember that lasagna?
No, because I don't like eggplant.
You used to eat it, though.
I probably did just So, Janine says sausage bread is basically like a pizza calzone type thing, but with no sauce, just cheese, sausage, and plenty of garlic and
That sounds delicious.
That does sound delicious.
Christina, what is your signature dish?
So, for those of you who don't know, Christina Boland, who is now in the chat, is my wife's best friend, and they've been friends since high school, junior high.
Fourth grade.
Fourth grade, there we go. Italian sausage, peppers, onions, and better than sex steak. So, Jane, we actually had Italian sausage, peppers, and onions for dinner tonight. We made them into sandwiches.
And it was on homemade sub bread.
Yes, she made homemade.
I didn't get a picture of that, so don't stress out. I will not be trying to share another picture that doesn't go away. Lori, that's so funny.
That's hilarious. Jonna said that she makes great Whole House cookies.
That sounds like chocolate, but that's okay. Isn't Toll House, they're the ones that...
They're the ones you just, in the yellow package. I think it's yellow that you just... Let's see. I know I'm a good cook. My hubby has... That's funny.
I think, like, outside of baking, I make really good chicken. I like take chicken breast and pound it really thin, and I bread it and fry it. And I'll do different seasonings on it depending on like what we're gonna use it in, whether it's like making a chicken sandwich or like chicken piccata. What else do we do with it? Just have it plain.
With chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, you make the best chicken. Yeah, chicken piccata, chicken parm, chicken sandwiches. She makes an amazing spicy chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to throw you all through a loop, and I think if Christina's still in the chat, she's tried it before. You've tried it and can vouch for it. I mentioned before I grew up vegetarian until my mom got remarried.
For the 18th time.
Don't say that.
17th?
Don't say that. Anyhow, I grew up vegetarian, and then one of the things that is like a comfort meal to me is it's called cottage cheese roast, and it is so good. I know it sounds so bad, but it really is really, really good.
Go. Go, Shadow.
Our dog wants to go downstairs.
Yeah, I had to let him out. He's always like shy to go down the stairs. He'll sit there and like stare at the door until you open it, and then he'll just stare at the stairs.
They're really, really steep, so I think that's why.
Yeah, they're unusually steep, but who knows what they were doing. So I think it's interesting. A lot of people chose like pasta or some sort of pasta dish, which...
Christina, you make a really good mashed potatoes.
I don't know that I've had anything she's ever made.
I don't know, because I don't know. I can't remember. But, so cottage cheese roast is, honestly, it's basically just onion seasoning. So sauteed onion seasonings, and I use Rice Krispies in it, and you mix it together and bake it. It's really good.
So, Riri, we have the same one, the same Juki. Does yours make a lot of noise when you cut your...
I did not think about lining this up, so I need to stop what I'm doing. Does my what?
So, Riri, I don't know if you heard, but she just used the automatic thread cutter, and it wasn't really loud.
It's loud compared to, like, the Bernina I had. But I don't know that it makes, like, a really loud sound. It might be, you might have some like dust or thread around it that you could see if you could clear out. If it makes a different sound than when you first got it, that's the only way I'd be concerned. But otherwise, oh yeah, there is egg in it too. I was trying to think of what's all in the cottage cheese roast.
George Washington seasoning?
Yeah,
like
but I don't buy it because since I have meat now, I just use like beef broth.
Yeah.
There is egg and I think butter.
Oh, did you say Rice Krispies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people use, I can't think of what it's like Special K, I think, but I think it's too sweet. It does not look good when you make it because it's very, very beige, but it is so, if you like cottage cheese, I think you should give it a try because it is really good. He likes it, but he can't really eat it very much because he doesn't agree with dairy.
Yeah, dairy and I don't get along, unfortunately. Which is, like, really sad because I love cheesecake and I love I love cheese in general.
Christina, I cannot find that snickerdoodle recipe anymore, and I saved it, and I think the recipe that I would use, the website I got it from, it was like a blog, and I think the person stopped paying for their website, and I'm very sad about it, because it was the best recipe.
She's 4 eggs beaten. Did you use oil in yours?
I didn't use oil, I used butter, but the reason some people would use oil is because if they are vegan, then they wouldn't use butter. But we were not vegan, we were vegetarian.
And you didn't use
I didn't
you
use
used real
one.
onions, right?
I I didn't use walnuts either. There are a bunch of different recipes out there. If anybody wants to try the one I use, I can post it in the description later. But there's a ton of different recipes out there.
That's awesome, Vanessa. So, give us an idea, because we need ideas to make more meals ourselves. What's your husband? Well, I know you said that he's still making options, but what are some of his favorites?
I'm like sewing air right now, so that's cool.
What's wrong? You don't have any. Oh, your bobbin's empty?
Yeah, can you hand me that little boat behind you? The little blue thing that has bobbins in it?
Oh, yeah. Babe, you really need to fix this ad things, because I just got an ad.
Well, I've tried and I don't know how.
Sean, I thought Sean told you how to fix it.
He did, and I went in there and I changed it. But it's like the only options it gives me is like not to make minimal ads or to do a lot of ads. I need to get on, because I usually use Firefox. I need to see if Google Chrome gives me more options.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Some of the browsers don't give me the same options. So sorry if you're getting ads. I just got one. But YouTube changed a lot of settings. I'm glad we just ate because I would be really hungry now after reading everybody's.
I know.
So what was our other topic?
So I was going to go to this. So what is your favorite song? I think this would be interesting because we have people who have from everywhere, and I think there's probably some songs that you and I don't even know exist.
I'm not up to date on any current songs, so if it is a current one, I probably won't know it.
Stephanie, or Quilting with Stephanie Stitches.
Oh, hi, Stephanie.
I'm
sewing again, I think. Yes, I'm sewing again. I didn't even think when I came up here to check the volume.
So, one of the other questions is, what is your favorite song? My wife and I, we met and got married in a matter of a handful of months. So, we don't have a lot of, we didn't date for 3 years before we got married. We didn't really date for, we didn't date for a year. We dated for what, 3 or 4 months? I don't even know. So we don't have a lot of, like, a lot of couples will have a song or things of that nature. We don't really have that in a sense. However, one of my favorite movies is Notting Hill, which I had never seen before I met my wife.
I convinced him to watch it like most movies.
I did not want to. I was like, this looks ridiculously stupid. I don't want to watch it. Maybe we'll watch it tonight because now I'm in the mood for it. But so we watch it, and it's a great soundtrack. But when it's Rufus Wainwright, I think he's the one that sings into that movie.
There's a bunch of versions, though. I like.
Yeah, I like the Martina. Is it Martina McBride? I think that's one.
I don't know. I'm horrible at the names of people.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. Anyway, so Keith Whitley may be the one that sings it in the movie, not Rufus Wainwright. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think you're right. I think that's the Whitley.
Oh, Alison Krauss.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Anyway, so there's a song called When You Say Nothing at All. So we're sitting there watching Notting Hill, and the song comes on, and we, of course, both sing it, because who doesn't love that song? So I always sort of think of that song as our song, and for that reason, it's my favorite song.
Well, and I love that whole scene when they're at the bench, and that bench says, like... It's like in memory of that couple, and it's...
For Jane, who sat on this bench for years, and Chuck, who sat beside her, or something of that nature.
I want a bench like that.
I can make you one.
Yeah, you keep saying you will, though, but you don't.
No, I said I could. I didn't say I would. There's a difference. I have the ability to make one.
I want a bench.
Where are we going to put it? I guess in the front porch.
Yeah.
But it's Texas. We're not going to be out there ever.
That's fine, but I can see it and smile.
Okay.
That is definitely my favorite song. Another one that I love is Danny's song.
Oh, I do like that song too. And I mean, to be fair, I like probably anything by James Taylor, because I love his voice, and But my favorite song would have to be "When You Say Nothing at All."
See, I did not think yours would be like a more romantic answer. I thought it'd be like "Sound of Silence" or something.
I do love "Sound of Silence." I much prefer the Disturbed version than the. Who sings the original? I don't remember now. I'm singing that song in my head now, but
it's not. It's like. I know it's not Pearl Jam, but I feel like it's something like Stained or something.
No. Disturbed is the version I like. I'm talking about the original version. It's sung by, I can't remember the name. There's some good songs in here.
Oh yeah, Brown Eyed Girl. I love that song.
Penny
There's
Lane.
there's a shop by us called.
Oh yeah, there is. There's it's trinket. It's probably not the right word. It's like a. How would you describe that shop?
Eclectic? I don't know.
Yeah, they just have a bunch of cool gifts, shirts, off the wall stuff from individual designers.
See, make the bench for Christmas. See.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Can you hand me the slide lock?
Teresa, you're a genius. I'm gonna be the greatest husband on the planet because I'm going to make it, and then it'll be amazing. The World We Knew by Frank Sinatra. I love Frank Sinatra, Jonna. He is one of my favorites. I don't know there's ever a mood that one could be in that Frank Sinatra isn't perfect for. You can listen to him when you're gloomy, when you're sad, when you're ecstatic, when you're dull. Like, he's just got music that will brighten your day no matter what, or make it better. Let's see. Neil Diamond, okay. My Firstborn Daughter. Okay, yeah, Brown Eyed Girl. That's great. Simon and Garfunkel. Thank you, Janine. That's who sings the original.
Oh yeah, I was going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. So look, I like some of Disturbed's music. Some of it's a bit too much for me, but their version of "The Sound of Silence" is one of the most moving songs I think you can ever hear, and the music video is exceptional.
You have to watch. There's a guy that you had me watch his reaction to.
Yes.
And that is so fun to watch his react, because you said normally he will talk about like during it, and he was just. I mean, he was silent the whole time, and you could just see his reactions on his face.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So and I feel so bad because there are some people who will do reaction videos to songs. They'll listen to a song for the first time, and then they're music professionals or professors or whomever, and they talk about the song, and they're fun to watch. Now, I feel badly for them because their videos are never monetized because they're DMCA infractions because they're listening to the entire song. They're allowed to do it, but they can't make money off them, and I feel bad because that guy's got like 8 million views in his video. And I don't remember his name, but he does these great videos where he just talks about the songs and the musical, background and the science behind all the music, and it's really cool. But he watches we watch him listen to The Sound of Silence by Disturbed, and he cries because it's that good of a song, and he's just silent throughout the whole song, which is unusual for him because he'll usually talk through it. And part of it is David Draymond is the lead singer of Disturbed, which is a heavy metal, like scream rock kind of band. And before I had heard Sound of Silence, I had no idea that his range was incredible. But he has got the cleanest voice I think you can listen to. So if you haven't heard Sound of Silence by Disturbed, I highly recommend it because it is a moving song for sure. Feels Like Home by Chantel. That's a good song. Donna just said the Disturbed version is so moving. That's exactly right, Donna.
Oh, I love Bryan Adams. That song is so good. I like a lot of his songs, and I love Bon Jovi too.
Time After Time. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Everything. I think my favorite Bryan Adams song though is probably Summer of '69.
I like that. I like a lot of his songs.
Yeah,
though.
I think his album, which I think is titled Summer of '69, is probably one of my favorite albums. I love Bing Crosby too. Although for me, like I always associate him with Christmas, so it's hard for me to listen to him if it's not Christmas music. Laura, it's from
Open Gate Quilts.
Open Gate Quilts is October box.
Yeah, and her patterns are usually exclusive to the box, but it's a 5-inch tumbler pattern, so you would be able to put them together with sashing between and recreate this pretty easily, I think. It's a Moda 5-inch tumbler that was used.
Teresa, I love sitting on the dock of the bay, so I'm a big fan of Otis Redding as well. This was this must have been 20 years ago. So, because Vanessa was talking about Alison Krauss and Robert Plant doing a duo, which is not one that you would typically think of. I don't remember if you remember Life, but this had to have been late 90s, I think, when Nelly, the rapper, teamed up with Tim McGraw.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember thinking when I heard about it, I'm like, this is going to be horrible, but it was really
good.
good.
What song was that? I don't even remember.
I don't even remember now either, but I remember enjoying it.
Kid Rock did one with that one. I mean, that one probably wasn't as far off, but...
She dated Lance Armstrong. Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a really good song, too.
Yeah.
Hi, Julie. Hey, Julie, I forgot to put a note in the package I just sent you. So when you get it...
Surprise!
Well, you should have gotten an email that I sent you something. So it is what it is.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you should probably do.
Let me know which one you like better. That was sort of the whole purpose of sending those to you. So take a look at it and let me know. Morgan Wallen covering. I don't know that song. I will admit that I'm not really hip, if you will, to any of the new music that's come out. I just don't have... I'm stuck in my ways, and I just haven't had a whole lot of listening experience with new music. For better or worse. Oh, okay. I don't watch TV really, Vanessa, unless it's football. Either English football, meaning soccer, or American football. But I imagine we probably have, say, CMT Crossroads as a channel. We have every damn thing else. By the Blenders, not the other one. So, Laura, speaking of acapella, I really like the Pentatonics. They have a great Christmas album. They're a newer acapella, newer meaning, I don't know, last 15 years.
That's new for us at this point.
Yeah. But the Pentatonics have a really good Christmas album. Oh, perfect, Vanessa. Thank you. Oh, and thank you, Christy. So Christina just says Fearless by Jackson Dean, which reminds me, I love Michael Jackson's music. So I could probably Billie Jean, Smooth Criminal. Those are some of my favorite. Man in the Mirror. Oh, that's such a good song. I'd go on and on. His voice was so unique. Well, thanks for stopping by, Stephanie. Have a great evening. Lauren Daigle. Why do I know that name?
I don't know. You know me. I'm like horrible with that kind of stuff. I usually have to describe like a movie or a song or something to you, and you figure it out for me.
Yeah, Vanessa, I have, She and Him, their Christmas album is very good. I know that they do other music, I've just never listened to it, but after I watched the movie Elf, in which Zooey Deschanel sings, I was like, wow, she has a really good voice. And I found out that she had a band called She and Him. But yeah, her voice was such a surprise in that movie because I just didn't know. I figured someone who could sing that well would have been known for singing. And maybe she was, and I just didn't know because I don't follow that stuff. But it was very surprising. Prince, okay, Prince is good. I do like Prince. Raspberry Beret is such a cool song.
I like Michael Bublé's songs a lot for Christmas, especially.
Michael Bublé is a good one at Christmas. I like most of his music generally, but I really do like his Christmas music. I love Blake Shelton's voice. I think he has an amazing voice. He has some. I mean, what's that song?
I don't know. I'm not good with that. I can't even think of the name of the Michael Bublé Christmas song. That's my favorite.
Anyway, Blake Shelton actually has a really good Christmas album. Oh, so does Lady Antebellum. They have a really good, or Lady A, I guess they're called now.
Did they change their name?
Yeah, they got a bunch of shit. Excuse my language, because Lady Antebellum
because
is.
of the set.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed that.
Let's see, Prince. Have a good night, Janine. So R&B from the 90s, that's a good point, Christina. I really like Boys to Men. I love pretty much everything they ever put out. And then those are all good. Okay. What was our last topic?
That was like, if you had a time machine, what year would you go back to, I think?
Yeah. Okay, so Julie says she did your disappearing 9 patch using the 10-inch square, and it was so amazing. What is the best way to share the picture?
You can put it on my Facebook page, or you can email it, and I can put it up there if you want to share. Whichever. I would love to see it, though.
So Donna, we do not have a brick and mortar shop. It is something that we've talked about wanting to do, but we have 2 kids in high school right now that one of whom plays very elite competitive soccer, so we travel all the time. So until she gets into college and is playing on a college team, we just won't ever have time to properly run a brick and mortar. We have hardly enough time to brush our teeth and
we
shower
do, though.
on a daily
we
basis.
Do.
Yes, we do. At least once, if not twice a day. So yeah, we want to open a brick and mortar. Like there's, it's not a secret. We will hopefully at some point. And it won't be in Texas. It'll be wherever we move after after the kids are in college. Probably South Dakota, maybe Michigan, depending. South Dakota's just great because there's no taxes and it makes opening a business much easier. But not yet. Check back with us in like 3 years, and maybe the answer will be different. But until then, no.
If you are wanting to see any of our products in person, though, and that's why you're asking, we do have a few shops that do sell our trim locks and our slide locks. It is something that we want to do on our website is post have a page that shares those shops and where they are, so that people who want to see them in person or don't want to pay for shipping know where to go. It's just a time factor on setting that up.
Yeah, so if that's the case, Donna, just shoot us an email, info@soweedquilts.com. Let me know where you live, and I can pull up our wholesalers and let you know what shops we have in your area, because we have shops all over the country, ranging from, New Hampshire all the way out to California. So that's not to say that there's one for sure in your area, but I can definitely look it up for you if that's something you are interested in. So, did you answer Julie's question about the best way to share her
Yeah.
picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I think so.
I don't know what the answer is, so.
Email or on my Facebook.
Oh, okay, perfect. So Julie, if you didn't hear that, you can email it to us, or you can just post it on the Facebook group, and that'll get it done. So the last question of the night, which is sort of an interesting one, and I'm still not 100% sure where I'm going on it, but so we try to do two sort of whimsical questions, which were the song and the meal, and we try to do Southwest Louisiana. Okay, Donna, let me look it up. Southwest Louisiana. How close are you to Beaumont, Donna? Jonna, yes, I do currently practice law. That is my main avocation. I also teach college classes or university classes, same thing. So, yes, I practice law. I'm generally a litigator, although recently I'm starting to do a lot more. I act as general counsel for a handful of small businesses and helping them navigate whatever comes up. A lot of it's contract disputes, a lot of it's trying to get people paid properly, a lot of employment law. I have a lot of clients who, I don't know, maybe about 5 years ago, I helped an executive at Disney through a separation. He was getting fired. It was a restructuring. He didn't do anything wrong. But I helped him negotiate a 7-figure settlement, basically. And ever since then, he's referred numerous people to me. So I do a lot of helping executives that are in situations where they are being terminated as a result of a reduction in force, or I do a lot of startup stuff. So a lot of guys that are like a client right now who was a CFO of a company, but they went through Series D funding, and the new owner of the company decided that they wanted to impart new management. So do a lot of stuff like that, which I find very enjoyable. And and then I teach law classes and business classes and management classes at the university level. And then I do this stuff where I make the stuff that you guys enjoy buying, and I love making.
I have just 2 more sides on here. Which way am I supposed to go? This is so confusing.
So pretty, babe.
It is. The colors are great. Monique from Open Gate Quilts always chooses the best colors for her projects. Those 2 aren't going to fit on there.
Yeah. Serious topic. If you could time travel to any point in time, we said year, but really any point in time, where you could be a passive observer. You're not going to live there. You don't get to, go back in time and figure out what the lottery numbers are so you can play them later. Anything like that.
Well, that makes it no fun.
But if you could go to any point in history, what would it be and why?
I really had a hard time with this one because I don't know. Like, I really couldn't decide on a good reason for why I would want to go somewhere. So I think I'm just going to kind of give what I think would be a fun answer, and that would be like back. And I can't remember what year it was, but I think I would go back to like when Laura Ingalls Wilder was alive and just observe that time period in person, because I loved those books growing up, and I just always thought that
House on the Prairie, right?
Yeah, I always thought that time period was just fascinating. So I wouldn't want to go back and live then, because I think I like modern amenities too much. And I don't camp and stuff, so I don't think I would enjoy it. But I think it would just be interesting, actually, like seeing her and how they lived and everything.
Hi, Melissa. So that's an interesting one. I don't know what I was expecting you to say, but
I don't even know what I was expecting, because I kind of thought about it on and off all day when I finished, because I finished, I think last night, scheduling the live and putting in our topics and everything. And I was like, I just don't know. I was just trying to think of a really really good and profound answer, and I just couldn't come up with one. So
Go to Woodstock. Jane would want to go to Woodstock. That's interesting. That would be fun. So for me, I think it would be. I sort of go back through a couple different events, but I sort of would want to be there for the Tea Party, like the Boston Tea Party, because I hate taxes and revolting against the government for taxes. I love that idea. So the Boston Tea Party, I think, would be cool. I'd like to be there for the signing of the Declaration of Independence to see how that went down.
See, I knew you would have like a really good like.
Start of the Revolutionary War, end of the Revolutionary War, just to see sort of how the first shot was fired and how it really ended. I was in the military. I obviously, not obviously, but I enjoy like military history. So I think a lot of that stuff would be really cool.
I think it would all be scary, and I just don't want to be anywhere near it. Yeah, the I loved the Little House on the Prairie books.
I've never read them.
I'm not surprised.
I never really enjoyed reading. I did like the required reading, summer readings, and things like that. I was never assigned those books, but I never really enjoyed reading until I was much later, much older. Like I probably didn't really even start enjoy reading until law school, and that was mostly so I could decompress from all the legal crap I had to read. But I was never a big reader. Like I read magazines and things like that, like sports magazines and car magazines, Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, but never books.
I love to read. I still love to read. I don't think there was ever a time that I didn't love to read. Like I would ask my mom for books for Christmas over anything else because I.
And that's why your vision's so bad now. I don't have that problem.
Yeah, he gets really mad at me because I'll read basically in the dark.
Yeah, she reads in the dark. She reads like when it's pitch black. I'm like, no, what? You complain that you can't see. It's because you do things like try and read in the dark. It's horrible.
You gotta do what you gotta do if you gotta finish a book.
Also, so Donna, we don't have a store in Beaumont, and so I apologize if I implied that we did. I just sort of wanted to know sort of how close you were to Houston, really, is probably what I should have asked. If you come to Houston often, we're in the Houston area, so...
and there's a shop... Well, I guess, never mind, because that shop's closing soon.
Yeah, but there's another one. So the point is, if you're in Houston and you want to... like, if there's something you're interested in, let us know. We can meet you somewhere, bring it to you. You can do whatever you want. If you're here... You said you were here often, so that's an option, too. That's actually an interesting point. Jonna said she'd want to go back to see how her ancestors came to America and why they moved from place to place.
Yeah, that's neat.
So that's interesting. I know how my ancestors came here and why. They came. I'm 100% German. They came from Germany during World War II to flee. So I know how they came here, why they came here.
Sorry about that sound. That was just getting in my way, and I had nowhere to put it.
I'm also, so fun fact about me, not that you all need to know this, but my last name, or actually our, our last name since we share it, is a made-up last name. It's not real. When my family moved here from Germany, it was sort of at the height of Americans hating Germans, and so they changed their name so as not to sound so German, because my great-grandfather, who moved over with my grandmother and grandfather, or I guess great-uncle. At any rate, he was a doctor, and it was very difficult to find patients with the German last name. So they literally opened up a phone book, I wasn't there, obviously, but what was told to me is they opened up a phone book and just chose a name in there. And so they chose that name, and that became our family name, but it's not our real name. And I keep thinking that I just want to change it back to our real German name. Problem is, there's just such a legal hassle because I have law licenses in multiple states. I have investigation licenses in multiple states. It's just it's such a hassle to have to change your name and go through the legal. Like, if I were 18 and didn't have anything to my name, it'd be fine. But bank accounts, investments, cars, houses, it's just too much. Too much. But I would like to change the name because I'd like to go back to the original name. Because there's not really an anti-German sentiment in America anymore. That I know of. Maybe there is.
Just give it time.
Yeah. Everyone's going to get hated at some point. So.
It'll cycle back through.
Hey, Luane. Nice to see you. We were wondering where you were. Hope you had a
5-mile
good
bike ride.
I hope you had a good bike ride.
I think, if I remember correctly, because I've watched some of the videos on your channel that you are in Florida, and I grew up there. My best friend still lives there, and I do believe it has cooled down, so it's probably a nice time. But I could be completely wrong because you can ask anybody, and I have a horrible memory. My son was picking on me yesterday because he loves to talk about baseball, and he was talking about, I think it's a pitcher, the one that has that mustache.
For the Braves?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
I don't either. But he was talking about him, and he's like, oh, you know, because we were watching it the other day at the restaurant. And I was like, oh, yeah, when we were in Michigan. And he just looks at me like I'm crazy. And he's like, no, when we were still here and we were at a Japanese restaurant. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, we were at Kamiya.
Yeah. And I was like, no, we were watching a game on the TV in Michigan. And he's like, that was football.
Luane's from San Francisco. So, Luane,
I was really far off.
I'm from, generally speaking, San Francisco. I lived in San Francisco proper for several years.
It was still a tropical climate.
Yes. So where I lived in the Upper Richmond, right now. I hope it's still there. I don't know if it is, but I lived on 48th and Balboa, right on the beach, and we were a block and a half away from the Park Chalet, which had the greatest Taco Tuesday in the world. Whether or not even still exist, I don't know. And I could give you, I could probably give you some of the best recommendations for restaurants in San Francisco. You live there, you probably know them. But again, I don't know if any of them still exist because the last time I was in San Francisco was 2007.
Yeah, because I don't think we went back up after we got married.
No.
I think we went up so I could meet your grandmother. And don't think...
No, we didn't. So 2007 was the last time I was there.
Because then we moved to Florida soon after Lorelai was born. And then after that, we moved to Michigan.
Yep.
And then here.
That is correct.
We like to move.
Yeah. So John would go back to the 16 to 1700s. So I think it'd be fun to go back just to see what life was like. But I don't think I could spend more than a couple days because I can't go. I have to shower on a daily basis. I have to brush my teeth. I don't know that I could do that.
What time period? Remember, so we've been playing Trivial Pursuit with the kids a lot lately. We love to play games. That would be a good question, favorite board games. We need to add that to our list.
Okay.
So what was I gonna say?
It was
we were playing Trivial Pursuit the other day, and they always have the most, well, not always, but some of the questions are very bizarre sometimes. And one of them was like, what time, some time period.
During the 1800s, how often did the average American bathe? And it was once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, because it gave multiple choices, and it was like once a week, once a month, and once a year, I think.
Yeah. And it was once according to Trivial Pursuit, the average American in the 1800s only bathed once a year, which is just beyond me. Now, this is coming from a guy who lived in the middle of the desert for 18 months and didn't really shower all that much. But I'm done with that part of my life, and now I have to on a regular basis. Good afternoon from Oz. The real Oz? Like, are you with Dorothy? So my wife is working on a pattern from
I finished it.
Oh, you did?
Well, I mean...
that part.
The top part.
It's
from
a
table runner.
The October box.
Nope,
from,
September.
Sorry. September box from Monique at Open Gate Quilts. And it is really pretty.
Yeah. I'm going to need to quilt this, and we need to use it on one of the tables that's actually open. Are any of our tables open right now?
No.
No. They're all workstations.
Yeah. That is correct.
Oz is Australia.
Oh, okay. So not with Dorothy. Although I bet you there's a Dorothy down there somewhere. I did not know that. Sean probably did, though. George Jones did have an incredible voice. That is true, Debbie. I don't really like Johnny Cash's voice, but I like some of his songs. Sort of like the Beatles. I don't like the sound of the Beatles, but I think they were genius musicians and writers.
It's the same for me with Dolly Parton, and nobody come at me because I know she is very beloved. I'm not a big fan of her voice, but I still listen to a bunch of her songs because I just like them.
Yeah, she is an amazing writer. Jolene is probably one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
Because you can feel the passion when she sings it. Other people have sung it, and I just don't think it's as good.
Yeah, she's a great artist. Her voice isn't for me, but I can still appreciate her as a musician.
Oh, for sure.
It's 8, so when you're ready to wrap up, I need to go to bed.
Okay, I'm going to do one more sheet then. Well, I appreciate everyone stopping by. It was fun. I think I've got some interesting ideas to make food next week because people had some great meals that they talked about. I think we're going to watch Notting Hill tonight.
I love that movie.
So do I. I just made me think of another one that we haven't watched in a while. It's more of a Christmas movie, but it also has Hugh Grant in it. He plays the Prime
Love
Minister.
Actually.
Love Actually. I like that movie too. That's another one that I watched as a result of you because I don't think I'd ever seen that before you either.
Yeah, and sometimes when I finally talk him in to watching a movie that I like and I know he will like, because I've come to know what he will like and not like in a movie. Then we have to watch it every day for a while, and then I decide I don't like the movie anymore sometimes.
I have a problem that that for me when I watch a movie, I need to watch it 3 times to make sure I don't miss anything. Because every time if you watch a movie literally 3 times back to back days, you'll realize little things that you didn't realize the first 2 times you watched it.
Yeah, there's like clues at the beginning sometimes of what's gonna come up.
So I like to watch movies that way, but I also have very good memory. So after the 3rd time I watch it, I've memorized literally all of the words in the movie and how they talk and interact. So the only time I watch TV is when we go to bed and we just put a movie on and we don't even really watch it. We just talk most of the time. But when I know the movie word for word, it's so much easier for me to watch it because then I'm not having to concentrate on it, which is sort of the way my brain shuts off at night. So I have to watch a movie a couple times until I've memorized it, so then I don't really have to worry about it when it's on, because if it's on and I haven't memorized it, then that's all I can do, and I like having my brain freed up to do something other than just watch a movie. So I've got to get through 2 or 3 days of watching it before I can actually not watch it, which makes no sense as I say it out loud. That really makes no sense.
Most of your little quirks don't make sense.
That's true. Yes,
the roommate Spike is so funny.
Rise Ifans. I think his name is Rise Ifans. He's hilarious, Spike. His real name is Rise Ifans.
I love when he's like, something about this yogurt's gone bad, and he's like, that's not yogurt, that's mayonnaise.
That's mayonnaise.
And he keeps eating it, and he's like, right, okay.
I did not know that, Julie. That's an interesting tidbit. She says that Jolene was a true story about a woman after Dolly's husband.
Huh.
A bank teller, that scandalous tramp.
What?
Well, don't go after Dolly's husband. That's a horrible move. She's a national icon. He looks like my ex does now. My friends and I also allowed him. Oh, Rise Ifans. Yeah, he's hilarious. Although I will say this, so he was also in the Harry Potter movies. He was in
What?
yeah, he's Luna Lovegood's dad.
Is he?
Yes.
He looks so different.
He's so much better looking now than he was. Like he just looks tore up in Notting Hill. But no, he cleans up nicely. But so did the sister. She's dead now, unfortunately. She died last year. But
oh, Hugh Grant's sister in the movie?
Yeah. She I think they just made people look weird in that movie because she looks totally normal. Or did look totally normal.
She's a funny character too in it.
Oh, thanks, Julie. Yeah, really, the Wednesday sort of day that we do this now happened only because it's the only free day that we have. So we didn't consciously choose to do it in the middle of the week, although I think it works out really well for us because it's sort of like the middle of the week and it gives us a way to sort of unwind and get ready for the rest of the week. So I really enjoy these because I find them to be very fun and I love talking about random topics. And so
yeah, it is fun. It's definitely, and I get to get some projects done because usually after dinner I don't sew. I start working on other stuff. So getting to come back up here and sew is a lot of fun and chat. And
yeah, because during the day we're doing.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to sew any today until now because I was editing a video all day. And last night too, I started editing it. That one, oh my goodness.
Oh, that's right. I was at soccer practice. That's right, because she's in Australia. She's in Oz.
Oh.
That's kind of cool. We're in the future right now. I love that. So it's funny because there's a part of Indiana that is in a different time zone than the rest of the state.
What?
So you can literally be, and it's just, so you can be in one town and it's 8 a.m. Then you can go to the other town and it's 9 a.m. And you can sort of go back and forth. So it's like I obviously it wouldn't really work because everyone knows, but you could sort of be like, hey, you can be on the earlier town, right? So you could be 8 a.m. Or rather, you can be in the town that's 9 a.m. and go rob a bank, and then go to the other town across the street and be at a diner at 9 a.m. and then be like, no, at 9 a.m. I couldn't have robbed the bank because I was here. But it's like, yeah, everyone knows you're
It's
playing
too late. You're making my brain hurt with that.
I'm just saying. I've always thought it'd be kind of fun to build your own alibi. It wouldn't really work because everyone would know that trick, but it is kind of fun.
I don't know. I listen to a lot of true crime, and it doesn't seem like a lot of the investigators think that complex.
Yeah, it is really sad.
But I think that's the only reason those are on, like, those shows, too. Is
because they're not going to give you the ones where everyone gets caught right away.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be very fun. On today's episode, we'll be done in 7 minutes because they caught the guy right away because they knew what they were doing. Thanks, Lori. We've been married forever, so we do our best to be a good team. And it works out well, I think.
I just make it easy for you.
Yeah, I just say yes. That's the secret. Never say no. All right, everyone. Well, I am on my last one here. So I'm going to call it after this. Thank you for joining us, for listening to our random musings about food and music and time periods. And thank you for just participating because you guys had some awesome answers.
If I remember, I will have him type up his recipe for...
Oh, yeah, for my pasta sauce.
For the description. And I can share the pita recipe I used that you guys got to look at for like 2 minutes while I've tried to figure out how to get the picture to go away. But yeah, so we'll schedule again a live for next Wednesday, and I'll try to post it again the day before and put the topics in the description of the video that we're going to chat about.
Yes. that will be.
Did you add that? Oh, I'm the one who has
You have the
running,
list, not me.
Board games. I need to add that.
Yes, favorite
Okay.
board game. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to next week where we will have. Oh, good, Julie. Thank you. Yeah, let me know which one you like best so that I know which one to make.
And since I just finished editing that video, I'll tell you it's going up on Friday, so please check it out. I would really appreciate it because it took me a long time to edit that video.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
And watch Notting Hill if you haven't watched it
Yes. And watch. So listen to the Disturbed version of The Sound of Silence. And then search.
yet. This is your homework.
Yeah. Just because it's an amazing video. What would it be called? I forgot. Where people listen to the songs.
The reaction?
Oh yeah, search like reaction video to the Disturbed Sound of Silence, and there's a man who wears glasses and has a round face, and he's got like 8 or 9 million
We'll try
views.
to put that in the description too.
Because it is the greatest video. Because he gets, and it's a moving song, but he gets emotionally involved in it. It's great, and his reaction is priceless. So. That's
hi,
right.
Donna, I hope that I haven't been on Facebook because I've been editing all day, but hopefully everything with your granddaughter is continuing to improve. I have been praying for her.
Yep, and as an attorney, I've got lots of ways you can build your own alibi. So just hit me up if you need one, either for legal representation or an alibi.
Please don't, because I don't want to get in trouble.
So.
All right. Well, we'll keep rambling if we keep looking at the chat. We appreciate you all being here. This was a lot of fun. We really enjoy chatting with you all. And so hopefully we'll see you all again next week. Bye.